So please just confirm that you can see my screen so that I would know that. You see my screen?
Yes, it's true.
Thank you. And that person mute.
Yes, I can see the screen.
Thank you. Okay. So let's move now. It is only when you have put down this artist conception of what the house is going to be that builder, you now get a builder or a project manager. You now get this project manager. You now show him, this is what I want to do. This is the house. So the project manager will now look at the house and say, okay, he will now break your house, that entire vision, he will now break them into workable bits, into phases, into dimensions, into levels, and say, okay, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, before we can achieve it. Right? I'm using a house illustration now, right? Or you can now break it into phase 1, phase 2, this is what we're doing. Phase 3, this is what we're doing. Phase 4, this is what we're doing. Phase 5, this is what we're going to be doing. So they start, the first set of people come in, they start to dig. Sorry, they start to clear, because the place is even bush, right? They start to clear the place. Now, follow me as I make this analogy. They start to clear. Those guys clear and they leave. They don't even know what is going on. A lot of people don't even care. Take notes. They don't care. They don't even know. They don't know what people are clearing grass. So nobody is taking notes. People are going to their workplaces and doing their things. These are the formation stages of your vision. These are the formation stages of you. That clearing is this Friday night that you should be in the club with your friends, but you are here sitting down and listening. That's the clearing. When they clear and they go, some other guys will come and start to dig the foundation. I will miss some steps. I may miss some steps, but you understand what I'm trying to say. And start to dig the foundation, dig the foundation. Now, notes. Why is this writing it, making it plain important? Because if they dig, you're meant to build a 5-bedroom duplex. The foundation is different from if you were going to build a 2-bedroom bungalow. So you got, if they dig it and, oh, I'm tired, no, this one will work now, just do 2 bedroom. You say, no, what I saw, because your eye, you as the visionary, you as the person with the vision, your eye must always be on the end product. The end, your eye must always be at the end, the conclusion, the execution of the assignment that you are working back from. That's why you have to begin with the end in mind for everything, life. Begin with the end in mind. The overall end of our life is that we want to make heaven. Overall end, want to live purposeful and development. If you begin with that end in mind and work your way backward, you will ensure that everything is done in accordance to the picture you saw. Nothing goes out of the picture. So those guys dig that foundation. People still don't care. Oh, they are going to build a house here. Yeah, okay. Everybody's going about his daily work. Those are your own formation stage. That is when you are grooming yourself. That is when you are burning those late night candles. That's when you are taking those courses. You're learning that skill. Nobody knows here. Nobody cares. Nobody even knows what you're doing, right? When those guys go, some people now come, now start to build the foundation. lay the blocks, do this, and then they go, right? The masons, the builders now come. They now start to put block upon block upon block, precept upon precept, line upon line, and the house begins to come. The house now begins to take some kind of form, but it is still not yet the picture. And that's why God does not confuse us. He gives us the picture so that you can properly be comparing at every stage. Is this the picture I saw? No, it's not. Okay, gotta keep going. Every of these person that is coming in are collaborators. Not one thing. People are coming in and going out of these projects. The guys that cleared the grass, they may not even know why they were even clearing the grass. They just paid them to clear grass for this. They may not even know there was a house. So when they pass there one time and they see that the foundation has risen, like, oh, now how's there been one built for here? Maybe they will have stayed with that project because it was a long-term project, right? How does this interpret to you? So not everybody in your life, that's why they say 20 children don't pray together for 20 years. It is not everybody that will stay. Some people will come into our lives to fill specific assignments, short-term assignments, and leave. This is the principle that they are adhering to. But guess what? There is somebody that stays on that project from beginning to end. Who is that person? Anybody knows? You can put it on the chat box. Somebody stays with that house. Somebody stays in that house from beginning to end. Anybody has an idea? Okay, because of our time, so that I don't waste our time. Project manager, the guy who is responsible, or the builder, or whatever, whoever is, the guy who is responsible for delivering the house stays with that house from the point where the design was initiated to the point of delivery. Now, the house has come up. The house is so tall. People now start to take notes of the house because of its size. Like, wow, this house go big. Nobody is saying this house go fine yet. They only know that the house is going to be big because some other people have not come into the house, that project, right? So the house is going to be big. The house is going to be tall. Wow, now big house with this. So people have now started taking note of you. They've now started hearing you speak. Like, okay, this guy gets some substance within your community, in your office, in your neighborhood. They are seeing some small result that tells them that, okay, this person is a standout person. This is not a normal, is no one is a standout person. You are beginning to have some form of influences, but you're not there yet. This is the point where some people will derail off. If you lose sight, if you have not put the vision and made it plain so that then they run with it, who are the people that are running with it? All these guys that are working on your various aspects of your mission. So all these things that is happening is the mission. These are the things that are getting into play and in place for you to achieve that vision. Everything is getting towards that vision that is tied to an overall purpose, right? Now, if you lose sight at this point, you have some small successes, small successes. This is the point where if Snapchat had sold to Facebook for $3 billion, they would not have seen 100 billion. They will not have seen over 1 trillion that they are worth today now. They will never have seen it. All of that money will have gone to Facebook. This is the time where the person who conceived Snapchat, who did not believe in it, the one that was given the vision, but he didn't believe in it. I nearly cried today when I watched that thing. I literally was shaking because I was in the office when I watched. I literally was shaking. I was like, God, I prayed a prayer. Say, God, don't ever. Let me not meet somebody. It is better for me. God, don't even bring somebody my way that somebody will come around me and I will not be able to sense it. I will not know. Or something will be in me and I will not know. It's better I don't even know. Let me not even see it. How will I live? Seeing my baby, my idea, is just like in America, where a lot of, in the 80s and the 70s, it was a norm for fathers to just impregnate a woman and leave her and go. People like Jay-Z today, their fathers left them. People like them, Drake, people like some of all these big rap entertainers, their fathers left them. It was their mothers that raised them. And that's why they treat their mothers like queen. Notorious B.I.G., all of these people. How will you feel seeing a son you gave life to that came from you becoming a billionaire in dollars and you cannot lay claims to it? That's what it is. Right? Now, the people that will plaster will come, they'll plaster it. At this point, you know what will happen? Some boys that used to smoke Igbo, some homeless boys, some, what do you call them? And what do you call them? Agbero, all these, they will start to use that place as hideout first because the house is not complete. This is what happens to some of us. So some distractions start to come in. We now feel like, we are giving cover, but that is not the right kind, that is not the shelter that God showed you. So if you leave the house like that, some Agberos, they live here now, you will not achieve the vision. You will not realize the vision, right? So you plaster it, plaster the floor. Of course, I'm not going into details. I'm not a builder. I'm not an architect, so I would not know the step-by-step procedure and all of that, right? And then they now roof it and all of that. And something interesting now happens that changes the trajectory completely. And everybody now knows that something is happening here. Who knows what that is? No, I want, if we don't put it on the chart, something happens at this point. Something happens at this point. There is something that happens at this point. Who knows what that? Who can tell us what happens? Where is everybody now? I hope you can still hear me. Now let me tell us what happens because of our time. Painters now come. They're the last guys, right? I mean, I'm talking about externally now. I don't mean interior decorators. I mean, the painters now come. These guys now add color to this building. They now color it white, cream, green, whatever color it is. The color now brings out the house. Boom. And almost as if by magic, boom, the house becomes noticeable, visible, attractive. The question is, people now start to pass, see this fine house, see this fine house. God, you know, when you don't paint a house, you can never see the beauty, right? No matter how, whatever you do, if you don't paint it, the beauty can never come out. It is the painting that will not bring. But the question is, these last guys, the painters, were they the only ones that were responsible for the journey of this house? The answer is no. However, you know who these painters are? The painters are those venture capitalists who will see your Snapchats. They are watching it from they've been watching it for all the years. You've been doing it by yourself. You've come this far. Their own now is now to bring some billions and pour inside that thing you're doing. That's investment, that's cash, that's partnership, that's mentorship, that's coaching, that whatever it is, now, boom, that relationship now opens you to their network, opens you to some set of other people that you were not, and people are even wondering, was this person here all along? They were always there. That house was always there. It was just that it had not come to its blossom stage. It was still a caterpillar. It was still in the dust. It was still eating, you know, it had not blown to become a butterfly. Because the butterfly has colors, wings, everything, and it's flying. But the caterpillar is on the ground. You can easily match it. You can't even see beauty in a caterpillar. But there is a butterfly in it all along. It now comes out, boom, and the whole world can see it. That's what happens. That's what happens. That's when we say it don't blow. In our Nigerian term. That's when you say it don't blow. But he didn't blow that day. The guy has been sleeping in the studio. He has been carrying, helping, he has been doing backup before. Backup. Remember when Wizkid was Banky W's boy, helping them to carry this thing, helping them to set up this thing. You will say, this Wizkid don't blow anyhow. No, what about the days when he was a boy to somebody? His own painting has now come back. Somebody has now splashed colors on his life. That's how it is. People will go in and out of your life. You should be able to recognize the ones, every relationship in your purpose journey. Some will be there with you. Some will come and stay. Look, I've been doing this thing for the past, I can't even remember how long. I've been doing this thing since 2012. This is 2023. If somebody decides to say that, look, Zach, I think I like what you're doing. I'm about to put $1 billion in this thing. I want as many people that can discover their purpose. And I want you to handle it. And I'm paying you to do this. This should be what you should do for your life. And every year, I'm going to be giving you $1 billion. Just be speaking to people on this. Get everybody else you can on board. Everybody out there will say, this guy has blown. But people like Coach DDK will not, everybody out there will say, this guy just blew overnight, just come from nowhere. You say, but people like Coach DDK will not say this guy blew overnight. People like Coach Sammy here will not say this guy have blown overnight. Because if Coach Sammy now says, if somebody like Coach Sammy says, see how Zach blew overnight, I'm going to remind Sammy of the nights that me and him had to trek in Lokoja before. I'm going to have to remind Sammy of the days when we had to look for a way to go and buy fuel in Jerrycan or borrow a car to go and do a speaking engagement somewhere. So somebody like Sammy cannot say this is an overnight success. No. No. Or somebody like my coach, Coach Safela Durote, will now say this guy, you know, somebody that I spent 1 hour and he was telling me how to do it and I was asking him questions. So how he will now say this guy just blew over. Like, no, people are coming from somewhere. That house was coming from somewhere. There was a digging process. There was a clearing process. There was a block laying process. There was a molding process. The painting process was just the final process to bring out the beauty that was always there. So that them that see it can run with it. If you don't write it down, they can't see it. And when they cannot see it, they cannot run with it. Run with it. That's just it. That's God's plan right there. God provides a vision. Like my coach said, it's never about you. The vision, a vision is never about you. Now, what is the vision? How do you know you have a vision? Every time you have a vision, you are not the one that will benefit from it. A vision will not, it is not about you. That's when you know you have a vision. It is not about you. It benefits others. It makes others better. If it is about you, that is an ambition. I got that from my coach, Safela Itodo. So check the plan you have. Is it about you, or is it about bettering a process, bettering a nation, bettering a company, bettering a system, bettering a structure, bettering someone else? That's how you know. A vision will provide diversity and unity. Everyone lives in houses, but different houses, diverse. And that's why I said, what it means is that a vision is not competitive in nature. So if Coach DDK builds 12 apartments and I build 2, I should know that if it's my vision to build 2, if what I saw was 2, then I have fulfilled vision. I have fulfilled my purpose. I realized it. If I keep measuring myself with Coach DDK, it could even be that Coach DDK has built 10. I built only 2, she has built 10, and she has not even gotten up to half. That's why it's foolhardy to compete. Because the person you are competing with might be frustrated with their accomplishments. And you have even done your own. And that's why when I see pastors and ministers and men of God that try to fight for members and this and that, I just laugh, like, really? Some are called to be pastors, some apostles, some prophets, some this, some that. Some are going to have great impact, some will have medium, some will have little impact. Some people's impact will just be in their family. Some of us, our impact is just going to be one of our sibling, our brother, or our sister that were meant to be a light unto. That might just be it. That person might just go on to become a president or a governor. And that's why every vision will go through phases. Sometimes you might need to branch out of what you think is the path. So I saw that I needed to build houses and all. So I want to read architecture. It makes sense. But then sometimes I find myself being an apprentice. I'm working as a mechanic somewhere. What is the correlation? I don't even understand. Yeah. Sometimes you might need to fulfill some submissions in the journey. You might need to do some submissions around that will all culminate into that, still in that plan. Sometimes God might have to take you off that path, take you through another route for you to learn something. I was having a conversation with one of my HR colleagues yesterday, right? Bumi. It was the first time we're ever talking. We've not talked. We're in the same group. For some reason, she just called me. So we went for an interview sometime last year, kind of a big interview for an HR role, right? She was looking to change, I was looking to change and all of that. And they paired us together. So she recognized me from the group. We've not seen before, but she just recognized me from the group. Well, we got talking and they paired us together and all of that. And, so they reached out to me and they said, okay, they were going to proceed with me. And they reached out to her and said they wouldn't proceed with her. So she called me yesterday to find out if I got any message from them. I was like, yeah, they said they were going to proceed with me sometime in January and all of that. I'm like, oh, wow, congratulations. That they told her that, she didn't make it. And then she's, started to talk why she really wanted the job. I really felt for her. And I had to speak with her, And I said, look, sometimes God will take you through some parts. Last year was a very difficult year for her. She went through a divorce. She had to get a house for herself. She's with the kids. She's now a single mom, young, a single mom, and the experience is new, and then now she has to get a job, she has to fend for the kids and all of that. It's a whole lot. And she said she needed to learn something. It wasn't just about HR and this and all of that. She wanted, and I was like, look, I stumbled into HR, right? Because I wanted to do it. It was something that I didn't stumble into it per se, I walked right into it, but I started out in sales. I was doing very well, very good in sales, very good in sales. And then I said I wanted to do HR. Now, when I got into, and I said I wanted to do training and development, when I got into training and development, the only way I could get into trainings and development or do this is to go through HR. I don't really like, I'm not really an HR. I didn't really, I really love sales. I really loved it. Looking back over how I have divested in my career path, I can see the big picture. So eventually one day I was going to have a coaching institute where I'm going to be talking to people who want to know my pedigree. What have you done? How have you managed? Who have you managed before? I have managed I currently manage about 480 something staff, from very senior executive to least blue collar people. So to an extent, at least I know that one. These are the pedigree. When I was looking back, that was what was flashing through my mind. God was saying, these are the things. This is why you have to go through. This was why you have to come to an organization that was on structure and structure it. Because you're going to teach HR people how to manage. You have to show them your formula. And then a time you will be an entrepreneur by yourself, and you're going to have to sell your business. You're going to have to sell to investors. That's why you have to go and learn sales. You have to do sales to know how to pitch ideas to people, sell to people, sell some things. And that's the phase you must go through. So you must understand that this is the picture I saw. It looks like I'm derailing. It looks like I'm derailing. It looks like I'm not go in that plan. Before this guy is even going to build this house, he might have to rent. Might have to rent. Maybe when I came into Abuja, in fact, the place I was staying, in fact, if I'm talking to some of you now, you will not believe me. The place I was staying in one village, one dirty village, one village that was smelly. That's where I was staying. But I had to. I was telling this lady yesterday the faces I've had to go through. Right? I remember when I was going to do do my first speaking alone for my own company. And after my whole world, everything I built with somebody in Lagos and Ibadan came crashing down, and I was back to square zero. So this was someone that has never worked for anybody. I didn't work for anybody right off school. Just went straight into business, and boom, it's like we hit gold. Here was I, square one. And then here was I driving, speeding all the way from Ibadan to Lokoja because I needed to go and do one meeting with some people, and then all the content I had I was going to use for my resource. And then here, one mad accident, and everything in the car, everything scattered, everything lost. Or came out and hot, me, my younger brother, and somebody. And here was I frustrated. Zero. The 7,000 naira I was going to use to do that was 2015, I think, also 2014, my worst year, 2015. I don't really like thinking about that year. If I told you I didn't have 7,000 naira, I borrowed it from a colleague to create the resource materials. I borrowed it in faith. And here, this accident destroyed everything. I didn't have maybe 15 naira or 100 naira. Right? And fast forward to just last year, December, it was me that was, I don't have, right? But I could share things for people, give things to people, give gifts to people, send money to people, do this, do Christmas, help a lot of people. You see the faces. So at a point, you will rent. At a time, you will stay with people before you will build your own. All the while, you are holding on to that vision. Vision will give you energy. Vision will give you energy. So every day you wake up, the reason why you write it is so that you'll be energized when you see it, when you read it. I don't think I'll be able to take the IKIGAI today again. Maybe we might take it tomorrow, maybe, because I feel like I don't know why I'm spending, so why I spend this much time on this particular day. It's just this whole presentation is just about 7 pages. I don't know why I've never taken this presentation like this before. I don't know if Alice is here, but Alice has been in the last, okay, she's off. You find out I'm not taking it like this before. There's something, I feel like there's somebody here. There's somebody amongst you guys that is drawing something from me. And I don't know why, because I'm not the one speaking. As far as I'm concerned, I don't even know what I'm saying, because I've never taken this slide like this. I'll just jump in and jump out, just define vision, mission, and purpose, and boom, I'm off. Why I'm spending this much time here, I don't know. I really don't know, but I feel like there's someone here that just needs to get something from us this night. And I've learned something from my coaches and my superiors and my pastor in church. You know, when you get that kind of drag, just stay there, stay there. That might just be it. Vision is going to give you energy. Look, it's not an easy ride. Even me, see, I still wake up some days, even now, even with the coach tag. I don't know if it happens to them, Coach DDK and then Coach Sir FD. But I remember one time Sir FD, you know, telling us during lockdown that he went to make one kind of investment, and God told him, and then lockdown came and the whole thing came crashing. I nearly wanted to cry. He was nearly entering depression as that level of coach. So me, that I've not even, I wake up some mornings and I question myself. I second guess myself. Because I ask myself, if I'm running a 5-day free class that is unpaid, where am I going to get payment from? Right? But when you have seen something, that thing will energize you. Say that, look, there's something there. Purpose is going to give you fulfillment. When you now, at this point, you have fulfilled that purpose. The interior decors have come. They've beautified the house. This makes sense. People are now living in the house. Your wife, your kids, your children, your family, other people are now taking shelter in your house. That will give you fulfillment. You can beat your chest and say, look at what I achieved. Look at what I am doing. The minute you get a vision, it will start to possess you. It's not going to leave you. And that is the hollow. That is that hunger, that unsatisfaction, that thing that you cannot tell why you feel unsatisfied. You feel like there is more. That is purpose calling you. That thing that is saying there is more. Have you ever been in an organization? Have you ever been in a company and everything they are doing, when they're in meetings, it's just like, can I just get out of here? Because what they are saying is worlds away from what you want to do. Their strategy, how they do their business, you are just there because you know you need the paycheck, you need to survive. But a time will come when survival will no longer be sustainable. You have got to live. And purpose is the only thing that will make you live, not survive. Vision will give you energy. That's why you need to write it down. So when we tell you write down things, we're not just saying for say's sake. We're saying it because of the days you will feel low. Those days you might need to go and check again. And because as you are writing it down, you are getting the fulfillment, you're getting the backings, the scriptural backings, you're getting these, you're getting the dates. This is the day God told me this. This is the time God told me this. This is where I was. This was what I was doing. This was where I was. This was the circumstance that surrounded me at this time. That's why you're writing it down, so that when sometime in the future, you can reflect back. The minute you get a vision, it starts to possess you. You start to be like a madman. When I start to watch these things about all these Silicon Valley entrepreneurs, they started to act like mad people. The guy that made Honda, there was nothing anybody could tell him. Nothing. Stay steady. You know my joy? My joy is the next verse after Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2. The next verse, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3, just it will speak in the end, even if it tarries, wait for it. It will speak. Just in case somebody did not get anything that we said this night, wait for it. It will speak in the end. God cannot confuse us. At the beginning of the year, it is a good time to ask God, even if you have been unable to discover it. Like I said, I won't go through the IKIGAI today. I will not. I won't go through it. Maybe we should discuss it on the class for those of us here. As far as I'm concerned now, you people, I don't know if Mr. Sam is still here. I know Mr. Sam has 1 or 2 network issues, right? I want to, the people here are the people, yeah, you're going to get a certificate, of course, but it's not about the certificate. It's not about that. It truly isn't about all of that. It's about what is my, some of us are here, some of you on this call, my money is in your hand. I tell you, and I say this without humility, some of you on this call, there's every possibility that my breakthrough is in your hand. You know, I always imagine that I will speak to a set of people one day, and somebody among those set of people will go on to become so influential that they will remember something that I said, or remember me, or remember one Coach DDK someday and say, you know what? I think I should give you $1 billion. I'm sorry I'm calling these $1 billion anyhow like this now. It's just because of these things I've been watching. All I'm hearing is billion dollars. I've not been hearing million. I thought million was money. I didn't know that. So we have 1 minute again, but I'm done. But this next session, this next part, I just want us to close out. Let me just tell you the next thing. We're not doing any, just tell you the next thing, and then there are questions. Yeah, there will be questions, so that we don't start taking questions and then it just goes off, right? We have